IVM.
Hey everybody, welcome to another week on the IVM Podcast Network. As I mentioned last week, we're going through this COVID-19 outbreak, and because of that recording schedules, we're trying to keep them, but it's a little uneven at this point in time. Beg your indulgence. While you are stuck at home, I think one thing that might be interesting to do is maybe check out some of the complete series that we've done. The Kulava Cartel, Woody Woodpecker, Cricketwala Chronicles. These are limited series that are complete. Might be a good time to check out those. Also want to thank our sponsors this week, HDFC Life and Paytm Money. And with that, let me get you onto your show and stay safe, everyone.
Hey all, my name is Siddharth Deshmukh and I'm the traveling professor. And I teach various subjects like digital transformations, marketing, business of media, blah, 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 etc. This podcast is my diary of sorts. This is the traveling professor's diary where I share cheer, insights, anecdotes from my journey and experiences. This is what I have in store for you today. This is a strange time. We live in lockdowns. We live in isolation. We live in social distancing. And it is one of the weirdest possible moments to be contemplating of networking that you do at events. This diary entry of mine is actually exploring the kind of networking that we do and whether it's actually beneficial for us. You know what I'm talking about, right? Well, the entire B2B events industry is completely predicated by these sort of so-called networking experiences. This is what I have experienced. And trust me, I know a little bit about this because in an earlier avatar, I used to work in a software company that used to develop software for ensuring that networking experiences become better. So I've studied this in a little more detail. And to be honest, I don't think that kind of networking works really well, especially if you do it the traditional way. So what is the traditional way? You take your time to identify the events that will be beneficial for you and you, for your networking, for your sales, especially if you're in a salesy kind of role or in a role that is even in purchase because you're trying to purchase from the right kind of companies. The most important thing that happens is that you pick up a whole bunch of business cards, and perhaps that behavior is changing now that you can scan LinkedIn as a card itself through your app. But let's just go with the story. You pick up these business cards, you put on your best suit, you put on your best smile, and you reach the event fashionably a little late. And you try to mingle around. Now, this is especially difficult if you don't know how to mingle around and if you're not a natural extrovert, but you try to mingle around and then to your dismay, you find out that everybody is trying to sell each other everything that they have. So it's so weird, right? We go there over to sell what we are trying to sell, and then we get other sales guys to sell us what they're selling. So eventually it ends up being a colossal waste of everybody's time. Now, there might be a few strange people who might find this sort of thing really exciting, but I find it unnerving. I find it a complete waste of time, and I call it a shenanigan. And it's something that perhaps the post-corona apocalyptic world is going to look at and kind of disrupt. Do we really need these networking events? How do we kind of network with people who we barely meet for the first time? And the weird thing is, it's quite possible that even those speeches that you see and the panels that you experience when you sit down and try to listen to, nobody's really paying any attention to what anybody else is saying. Everyone's trying to make their point, sell their product, and the rest of it. All of us have done it. I'm as guilty as, you are in doing something like this. Well, how do you then actually make the most out of a networking event? I'd say avoid them like the plague as much as you can. And if you end up going to a networking event, don't try and sell anything to anybody. Just ensure that by the time that you enter a networking event, your personal brand is so strong with the kind of work that you do and the kind of profile that you've built online that people look you up and become naturally interested in whatever value you're already adding to them through the way in which you're building your personal brand. Well, how do you build your personal brand? That's another diary entry for another point in time. But right now, here's me saying no to the normal networking event. Don't waste your time. Add some real value to people around you. And if you like this diary entry of mine, there's many more to come. You can always follow me on Instagram and LinkedIn, where I am the traveling professor. I keep making quirky videos and other entries over there. And if you love podcasts like these, well, there's many more like these on ivmpodcast.com, or you can just download the app. Say, from me to you, thank you for listening to me. No networking, and happy quarantine.
Advertising is dead. Yep, you heard me right. Advertising is dead. We're all in the content business now. Let's not call it news, TV, radio, etc., etc. It's all content, and we're in the middle of this weirdly exciting phase where all the borders and lines that have been drawn over decades has been swept away by this lovely thing called the internet. We're a show where we don't dwell on just the stuff that is now, but rather the wider stuff about advertising, media, content, and the whole goddamn circus surrounding it. Tune in every Tuesday for our weekly unboxing of the mystery box we used to call advertising. I'm Varun Dugirala, co-founder and content chief at The Glitch, and this is my new podcast, Advertising is Dead.
How many times have you motivated yourself to improve your sleep, or lose weight, or be more productive? How many times have you failed? Hi, my name is Ashton Doctor. Tune into my show, The Habit Coach Podcast, where we focus on creating small, tiny habits to improve your life instead of those big, impossible tasks. So make listening to me a habit every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com or on your favorite podcasting app.